For anyone who spends any time on Facebook, today we have two very special guests. We have Corey and Gereen Alarie. Hi, you guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Now, the Alaries are the proprietors and the runners of the Focus on Southbridge Facebook page, and I know a lot of you are familiar with that. How many members do you have right now, Corey?
27, a little over 2,700.
That is
almost
such
2,800.
a remarkable number
Yeah,
here
it
in
is.
Southbridge. I mean, I had to. You're like almost like rock stars. But congratulations on that great number. I wish I had that kind of number on the Southbridge Community Television Facebook page. So Focus on Southbridge with your 2,700 members, and it's all about Southbridge events or Southbridge related specific things that you talk about.
Yes.
And you allow now. Before we get to that, because that's very interesting, and there's a lot of people who are curious about you, because you guys tend to stay in the background. But you're both from Southbridge. Gereen, you grew up in Southbridge?
Other than like 3 years when I was little, I've lived in Southbridge all my life, worked in Southbridge all my life.
Yeah, and Corey, you too?
Yeah, pretty much like her. A couple of
Yeah.
years I lived in Sturbridge, but I was born and raised here and
Always
moved away
in the
for a couple of
area.
years and then moved
Both
back.
graduated
so.
from Southbridge High.
Did you? Did you know each other back in the day?
No.
No.
I'm a
You
little
met
older than
afterward.
him. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you got married, and you stayed in town. You skated at the Res?
I didn't skate at the Res, but when I was a kid, I did swim at the Res.
Did you?
Because when I was really young, it was before we had the town pool.
Yeah.
And I lived just a few blocks from the Res, so that's where people used to swim.
So in the
before town
summertime, there was swimming in the Res. I've only been here 30 years, and I never remember swimming.
I lived in a different part of town. We went to the state pool. I
see.
grew up on Charlton Street.
You were on that end.
So
I
I went
gotcha.
once or twice, but we went to the state pool because it was like right there. So
So you've
But
been here
I remember before the state pool. So
Did you? Yeah, right.
I learned to swim at the Res when I was about 5 or 6.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, it was. I mean, going back to the day, I knew a guy actually who was a lifeguard there. So now you've been here a while. You're working. You both work. You're making a living in Southbridge, and one day you just decided that a Facebook page would be good for us. How did this get started?
Well, we're both on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
We've gotten a little more involved now. It was actually his idea, so I should probably let him tell you because he came up with the whole thing.
Well, we would see people like at town council meetings saying they would have liked to have gone to a certain subcommittee meeting or another meeting in town, but they didn't really know when they were. And the only game in town at that point was to come into the town hall
And get the posted meetings.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, they had with Facebook, the town's website, but it wasn't really up to date maybe all the time. So, and then you always heard, and even when I was a kid, I always heard, "There's nothing to do in this town. There's nothing going on in this town," and we knew that wasn't true just from the Facebook pages we followed. A few other places, there was always something going on. So I kind of thought, well, what if we had one page where we could put all of that stuff in one spot?
Information about Southbridge, things to do,
anything,
meetings,
basically,
government
yeah.
meetings like that.
Church
And that's that was
Yeah.
the impetus for you making this
Basically, yeah.
very popular
Yeah.
logo.
Not everybody has a lot of time to be on the internet, so if they have to go looking to this website or this page or that page, they're going to miss a lot of information.
You pulled it all
Whereas-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you would have to follow, like, if you wanted to know what was going on, say it's something at Hyde's, you'd have to follow their Facebook page. And you'd have to follow all these different Facebook pages of all these different places in town.
Your goal was to kind
So
of pull it all
put them all. We'll do
to
it.
one side.
and
How
we'll
long have
just
you been
post
doing
it.
this? How long has it been on?
It was
a
3
little over
years,
3
a couple
years.
weeks ago.
Really? Started small?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were real small at first.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
At two.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, through word of mouth probably, right? I mean, you didn't advertise.
We added a few people just because at first it wasn't like we're going to make it this big thing. We thought, oh, maybe this person would be interested, and we added a few, and then from there they just added a few and added a few, and
Like a
then
little snowball
Word
effect.
kind of
Yeah.
got around, and we'd have
Yeah.
people that would join and add. Oh, this place is great, and they would add 5 or 6 members. So it just kind of grew, organically over.
2,770. I looked
Yeah.
20 minutes ago, and that's where you were at.
And actually, I think there's 2 people waiting to be approved that I didn't have a chance to look at.
Yeah, we'll have to do that when we get. Yeah, we'll have to do that when we get home.
So you're enjoying your lives, normal Southbridgean here in Honest Town, and the next thing you know, you've got this large entity. I mean, almost of a life of its own. How much time a week do you spend managing this website between the two of you?
All together.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to say.
Well, we do. I don't like to do it all in one I don't
Yeah.
want to have to spend 6 hours one day doing it.
Yeah.
So we kind of manage over the course of the day.
Yeah.
Usually I'll get home, I'll get on. Is there anything? What did people post?
Yeah.
Anything I might have to be worried about or
Yeah.
whatever.
And you must
when
worry
she's
about
home,
stuff,
she'll get
right?
on. And we do because we're not. We can't be on.
We try to keep
24/7.
things, yeah, we try to
Yeah.
keep things, always respectful.
So if you're a member, you can come on and post whenever you
Oh, yeah,
please.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have certain rules.
Yeah.
We want everything posted to be somehow about Southbridge.
Okay, fair enough.
If somebody starts posting about things that are going on Sturbridge, well, that's great, but it's not focused on Southbridge then.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our most important rule, I think, would have to be to remain respectful to the other members.
Be respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've heard that from a few of our members when we've met them,
Yeah.
out somewhere, and they've said that's one of the things they like about it the most is it's not
Yeah.
people getting on each other because we don't let those things go on too long. If it gets to a point like this isn't going great.
So if the
now
debate
it's-
that two people generally are having just goes ad infinitum, you're going to start to cut it off.
well, not if it goes for a length of time. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if it just seems like a lot of conversations on Facebook, if you let them go long enough, they'll end up being an argument at some point.
Yeah.
It just seems about anything, the
Oh,
simplest
sure.
thing in the world, and
Sure.
you leave it up there long enough. So we don't usually take down posts just because they've been there a while.
Yeah.
But once it turns into an argument and people bickering with each other, then it's not a discussion and it's kind
You'll
of lost
pull it.
its point.
As the overseers of your website, you'll do that just to monitor. There used to be a few in town. There were blogs, and they weren't on Facebook. And to me, as somebody who goes on the internet, all the time, the advantage of Facebook is that you have to leave your name. You can't be
Yeah.
anonymous. You can't come up with some snappy,
Yeah. Well, I mean, people do come up with false names. I
They
mean,
do.
We've not let people in the group just because the name was. You could just tell it
I don't
was.
think
It
we
was
got a couple.
somebody
We have a
complete-
couple. I think might be fake names.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it probably then depended on the
But they don't get
context,
out
right?
of they don't get
Yeah.
out of hand, and because we
Yeah.
have a lot of people that they never seem to really post. I think we
Yeah.
have a lot of readers.
Yeah.
People just get on and they scroll
Yeah.
through for a little bit.
That would be
almost,
me. Actually,
like-
I posted twice now, but
So I mean, people are more than welcome to post, but I think
Yeah.
we get a lot of readers. It's always the same.
Well, we
Yeah.
still, when we first
know.
started, we did pretty much all the posting.
yeah.
And we still do the majority of the events that are going on, although there are thankfully some people who do post their own things now. But we want other people. We encourage other people to post. I mean, because we're going to miss some things. I mean, I try to follow all the churches and follow this and follow that,
Yeah.
just to make sure. But I mean, there's going to be some things occasionally that we miss. So if we encourage people, if you belong to a club or you know of something that's going to be going on, to please post it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we run into that here at the studio. You can't cover everything. There's a lot going on here in any given week, and especially in the summer. I mean, now it's a little slow.
Oh
but-
yeah.
But now, I think this is awesome. But I have to take a little detour here in our discussion because I've worked a lot of meetings. I'm a clerk for several boards, and I've spent a lot of time over the last 15 years in the McKinnon Council chambers. And Gereen, you're related to the McKinnon out there. Robert McKinnon, who is
Yes.
named after. He's your father?
Yeah, that was my dad.
What can you tell about him that just, because people are interested? What
Well,
about
he-
him that made them name that studio, the chambers after
Well,
him?
he was very much involved in the town. I believe his first political position was on the school committee. He started out as a member and became chairman. He was a member of the selectmen.
Back before we had town councilors, we
Yeah.
had selectmen.
And he actually was one of the people who helped write the charter when they changed the government to the council form.
Truly one of the founders of the town government anyways.
Yeah, so he was
Wow.
so he was a counselor, then he was a counselor at large, and then
Was he from here?
he lived here like from the time he was in his teen years. They
Came here as
both
a
my
young-
parents emigrated from Canada,
Okay.
but they became citizens right away.
Wow, they weren't the first people who ended up in Southbridge who came from Canada.
no.
Maybe they were the latest, but there was plenty of
Well, I
them.
got some Canadian folks on my side of the family
Sure,
too, so that
right,
was
if
a
you've been
common
here.
thing if you're in Southbridge.
Yeah, well, Southbridge was a real French Canadian town.
Canadian
So.
town.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Dad was.
and then he ended up being the chairman of the town council. Unfortunately, he died very young, and when he passed away, he was actually still the council chairman.
Oh, I see. And to honor him and all the good things he did, they named the chambers after him.
Yeah, we'll-
See, it's just an anonymous person, but like I said, I've
Well,
typed
it's
his
nice
name
that people
several
know
times.
who it is, because I'm sure
Yeah,
they hear the
actually-
name like, I don't know who
Really
that
do.
is.
And now here you are,
You know?
another generation doing something for the town too. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's quite the same. He put in a lot of work.
It is different. I mean, he's government and you're like the media.
Yeah.
But
That's why I really respect the town councilors, because they put in a lot of time.
Oh, they do.
It's not just the council meetings. It's
No.
like
All
an
those
everyday thing. The
subcommittees.
subcommittees.
Well, I mean, there's sometimes we think running focused on Southbridge is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like nothing compared to that. So,
yeah.
you know.
You have regulars. You got regular people that contribute.
Oh yeah, we have some that post every day.
Yeah.
Some people just occasionally, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you've been here your whole life. These people that are posting, do you know many of them socially? I mean, do you, like some of them may have been in town for a while. Do you already know them?
A lot of them. I know
Yeah.
a lot of them. Not all of them. There's some I've never even heard the names before, but no, I do know a good portion.
Yeah,
of
we've run into
members.
a few here and there. We went to, when we did the Restaurant of the Month
Yeah.
feature for February, we did Mario's. We picked Mario's. And we ran into a couple of different people that are in the group that were there that night.
Wow.
The first night we did it, the 1st of February.
It's hard not to.
So-
You have 22,700 members.
Oh, yeah, you figure
You walk down
eventually,
the
yeah,
street,
you're
you're
gonna
gonna
start
run
running
into
people.
somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't know you. Well, they do now. But
Yeah, yeah.
there goes your anonymity. You won't be
Yeah.
able to go to Big Bunny in
That's
peace
all right.
anymore. Gereen.
That's all right. Hey, it'd be nice to hear from people because that's why we
Yeah.
started it too. Is
Yeah, yeah.
we're nice to hear. It's nice to hear from people that they appreciate the group.
Now, a number of times I've been following for, I don't know, I wasn't a member until I applied to be a member probably a couple months ago. Before that, I just checked in for about a year now. I've been looking. And over that time, you've had situations where people got out of hand or got rude or got a little bit too aggressive, and you had to take them out. How often does that happen?
Not much.
A handful, half a dozen, maybe
we
not even
really
half a dozen.
We really do hate deleting
Yeah.
members. We try to give them like a couple chances,
Or a few chances even.
depending on what they do. I mean, if they
Yeah.
get totally out of
You give 'em a
hand.
little
Because we
warning.
do have
before-
our rules. If your first two posts are like there's something really wrong with both
Yeah.
posts,
Then right
because
away.
then we have an idea of what
You're
you're
gonna
going to
nip
be
that right
posting.
in the bud.
But when,
Yeah.
when we have people, it's the only time we've really thrown people out when it's been a continued pattern of behavior, basically.
Yeah.
So every time they post, her and I are like, oh, what did they post now?
Yeah, so you're
So we
like
have to go
already on
look it
pins
up
and needles for them.
and always wondering what got posted. So like
Yeah.
like even she even mentioned, I hate throwing people out of the group. I
Yeah.
hate doing it.
Yeah.
We cut people some decent amount of slack, I think, but. You know, it happens.
At some
when
point,
have
you
that
put
many
down
members.
rules.
Well,
And
you
that's just
have
you're
to.
right.
We're
You have
quicker
to-
to delete a post than we are a person. We will delete a post without thinking twice, but a person, that's
Oh,
a decision we talk about. We
yeah,
don't
we'll
just
ask
do it.
them. Yeah, we'll ask them because she mentioned cursing, and I'll just say, can you mind the cursing, please? We don't
Yeah.
allow cursing, and
Right.
sometimes we get some gruff. But
I think it's
you know.
possible to communicate without cursing. It may be difficult, but
Well, it gets out of hand sometimes, and then the thing is we have people that don't live in Southbridge looking at this page.
yeah.
And if that's all it was, they go, oh yeah, well, typical Southbridge. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is
yeah. No, we want to leave a good
well,
impression.
Put a good, a good foot forward. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right. Good foot forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
When we try to stay positive,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's going to be negative things that come up from time to time, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we'll share news stories that maybe don't put the town in the best of light because of something that had happened.
Keeping it real though. I mean,
But yeah, you can't bury your head in the sand either.
I put a shine on all of it.
Yeah, no.
Now you make some posts. You post a lot of the government meetings and when they're going to be. You post a lot of events for churches, and I saw there was a post for the Italian Club recently, pitch night and things like that. Any other things that you regularly post like that? Anything come to mind? A lot of posts about a certain thing.
I'm
Well, of course, we do a lot of restaurants.
Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
one of
Well,
our
see,
big,
when
one
we
of our
first
big
started, when we
things.
first started the group, it has evolved quite a bit.
Yeah.
When we first started the group, we didn't really post anything about the local businesses.
No.
We were afraid that if we started doing all that, it would become like just ads.
Uh-huh.
But at some point, we had a conversation and we decided, well, maybe we could help local businesses out.
Yeah. It was like
you
a
know.
service almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another thing. We've learned there's a lot of businesses, a lot of restaurants that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
good.
we've learned a lot, and we're sharing that information.
Yeah,
because,
that's good too.
Yeah.
People, we hear it all the time. I didn't even know that place was there.
You're
you
not
know.
getting paid for any of this.
No, that's
No,
a
we
big
don't get-
misconception.
We don't get paid. And we've heard that because
Yeah.
I've had people ask me how much you get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Nothing. So you do it
No.
for nothing?
Oh,
Well,
people have actually
you
thought
know,
we were employees of the town. I'm like, no.
No, because
we're
there's a
not.
couple of posts that actually says in the pinned post,
It's better you're not
you know,
employees
that we're
of the
not.
town.
You know.
You don't have to guard what you say as much. I mean, I'm an employee of the town, and I'm not about bashing the town anyway, but you still have to be a little more.
Well,
you're freer.
Yeah.
As your own independent.
Well, we try to keep a lid on things as as much as possible, but I don't think we're doing anything offensive, and we're doing it for free.
Yeah, you're only bound by good taste.
Well, our good taste anyway, because it's like I said to her, I've wanted to post a few times. Somebody's going to make the rules, and unfortunately, it's us. You know what I mean?
I find
I'm
you very
sorry.
consistent. In my observation, I find you pretty consistent.
We try to. Well, we thought about it because I've seen groups where you could see somebody started the group 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah.
And everything that popped up, they had a problem with. They didn't know, well, how do we handle this? Oh my God.
Yeah.
We put a lot of thought of it before we ever actually started it.
Yeah.
So we have gotten some surprises. I mean, the pin post with all the rules is getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
But
well, you felt the need. I mean, you have truly evolved, but you've kept it civil.
to the best of our ability, yeah.
It's like a riding herd over a whole lot of horses here. You've got all these members, and now again, not all of them are posting like you said.
But the thing, it's really not all that bad. We have our problems here and there, but considering we've got almost 3,000 people,
on average, I mean, since people are checking in and posting on their own, they're a member and they're allowed to do that. How often a day? I mean, you get a lot of new posts all the time. How many a day are you getting? I mean, it's hard to average that out, but
I mean, from other people or from ourselves? Or
just total new posts.
well, usually what I'll get home from work and I'll turn it on and it'll say 20 plus. No, those aren't all focused on Southbridge.
Yeah.
That's just anything I would get on Facebook, any other group I belong
see.
to too.
Yeah.
But those kind of come up like at the top. I get kind of a preference
Yeah.
because of those
Yeah.
or for those.
Yeah.
And I'll see 20 plus. So
Yeah.
there's a few, and I go
Yeah.
through each one.
You've become a conduit for a lot of people.
You
I
know.
mean, you're helping Sean. You're helping other people who
Yeah.
have their own.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you're
I
doing.
love his new chronicle.
Yeah, the Citizen Chronicle,
I
yeah.
love, I
Neat,
love
huh?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a true fashion, I know because I talked to him. He's trying to scoop them. That's what newspapers do. They're trying to get there first.
Right.
Now, you guys, in accident of history, there's nothing faster than the internet.
Yeah.
True.
And you guys are right there. I mean, I don't know of anybody else in town that has more involvement. But what an exciting thing that is. And really it is just, I think of it more than anything else as a news source. Now, as a reasonably intelligent person, I think most people, they know that they have to read between the lines sometime. That they can't necessarily, but you get a good idea of what's the truth. And so many different things that people are learning about Southbridge from your website. And
Well, we can't. We try to. Well, it's not that we try to keep it even. That's just how it ends up being.
Yeah.
Like she said, we'll post stuff that I don't even like posting. Stuff
Yeah.
from the police department, say.
Yeah.
Some drug bust. I don't like posting that. But
Yeah.
we can't just not and only be happy.
Yeah, spin the
all of
bright side.
it.
Our police
it's
are working
just
good.
to let you know, hey, this is what our cops are
And
doing.
we
Yeah.
should let people know what a good job the police department is doing. So.
Yeah.
You look on the bright side,
Yeah.
Drug
And we don't
busts
do a lot
happen
of
everywhere.
We don't
Yeah.
do a lot of opinion stuff. We don't. We allow people to have discussions, but as long as you keep it civil.
You don't care about national politics at all.
No, well,
It's
see,
not
politics-
that. It's
I
not,
mean, on your site.
no, the problem with national politics is that, because then it opens up the doors for all different other sorts of stuff. And the thing is with Facebook is there's two things. You never see a discussion about religion or a discussion about politics go well on Facebook.
Yeah,
It always turns bad.
Corey, you're right.
So
Ugly, hard feelings await.
because then you get a whole bunch of people, all different views, and it's like this is just
Yeah.
going to turn into a nightmare. So that's why we
yeah.
started doing. And the thing is, we wanted to do what other groups weren't doing.
Yeah,
And there's plenty of groups where you can get national news.
yeah.
You don't need
There
to get
is.
it from
Nobody's
us as
covering.
well.
You're absolutely. You can go to MSN.
And from day one,
homepage.
we've been focused on Southbridge.
Yeah.
That's what
I'd rather
that's
do more
what it's
Southbridge
about,
stuff
so.
than
Yeah.
like national news.
Yeah, when you said the local paper, it was the only source of local stuff.
Yeah.
And now you practically are the only
Well, that's
one.
kind of how we almost look at it. Like I
Yeah.
said to her, it's like an online Facebook newspaper, kind of.
For the modern age.
I mean, we don't create a lot of content, but there's a lot of content.
yeah,
you know?
but there is because people are doing it for you. You have,
And that's nice.
You know,
It's nice that they do. I mean, we would do it anyways.
Yeah.
But it's nice that people do.
2,700 potential contribitors.
Yeah, and everybody's welcome to participate.
And we
you
try
know?
to, also you mentioned earlier, you asked earlier what other things, we try to keep up on what the schools, what's going on in all the schools.
Yeah.
You
lot
know,
of stuff coming out of
there's
there,
been,
too.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of good news for some of the kids who are, being accepted at colleges. So
Yeah,
we
there you
try
go.
to catch
Yeah,
all
it's
of
nice to
those.
see that. It's
Right,
nice to
I
see
saw
those
that
stories.
one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
story. That was cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see those stories.
Yeah,
but-
it truly is. And you check in when you get home every night now. It's a
Pretty
part-time
much, yeah.
job. It doesn't pay.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I
people
can
say it
only
must be a lot of
imagine.
work, and yeah, sometimes it is, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, if we're on the computer anyway, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and if
you
I'm at
know,
home, if
yeah.
I'm at home, I'm on my computer, so I'm doing other things too. But I'll check in and see what's going on. But
Anymore, right? Every day you go on it. I do too. I mean, well, there's a lot of people that are vested in your page. Me too. I mean, and appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate what you're doing as a resident, not so much as an employee, but a resident of the town. I like to look in it. I appreciate the fact that you keep it clean. I appreciate the fact that everybody on there has to pony up and be honest about, for the most part, who they are.
yeah,
Lately you have a woman on there who's making videos, and I just love that.
Oh,
Because we
yeah.
make videos
Yeah,
here,
Nadine,
and I
yeah.
sent her a...
Yeah.
The gal about town.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that.
Because she asked about it. What do you think? I'm like,
Yeah.
cool.
And then she
You know?
went up and did it.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
did.
that was so impressive.
She's
Sent her
got
a little message
half a
private, like,
dozen
I'm
of them.
very
There's
proud
probably
of you.
3 or 4 of them up now that she did.
At least that
Yeah,
many.
yeah.
She'd
I
just be
watch
driving
it.
down the street and
Yeah.
said,
Well,
"Oh,
that's right
I'll
up our
I'll stop
alley here,
here."
you
And I
know?
was like, "That's cool." I like the raw of it. You know what I mean?
Me
She just
too.
walks in and go, "Hey, can I interview you for 5 minutes?"
Spontaneous.
It's cool. I
Yeah.
kind of like that.
No,
you
it's
know?
good. I like it too.
Yeah.
I like it too. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm sorry to blow your cover. Because, again, going to Bunny might be more difficult for you now, Gereen. But you'll like it. People will have great ideas, and I know
And
people
it's
are
nice
excited
getting good
about it.
feedback. We do, people
Yeah.
who do know us, we always hear
Yeah.
good things about the group. So
Yeah.
that's the good
It's
part
nice.
of it.
It's nice to hear it. It's really is nice to hear that people
Yeah,
appreciate it.
congratulations. I mean, what a,
It really is.
in its own way, it's just such a success story. And keep it up. I mean, as a fan, I hope you keep it up.
Well, we have no plans.
One day you have
to-
5,000 members and you're doing it 50 hours a week, you may have another thought
I
about
don't know about that, but I think that's one of the things. I think we've I didn't think we'd get this many
it.
members.
No, right?
I
There
figured
they are,
if,
though.
maybe 1,000, maybe we'll get 600-700
Yeah.
people. Then it was 1,000. Then it was 1,500. Then
Yeah.
it was 2,000.
I doubt the paper
You know?
ever had the number of subscribers you do. I mean, you're right up there. Yeah, thanks for doing it. Appreciate it.
Sure.
And thanks for coming on my show.
Thanks for having us.
Nice
My
to be here.
pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm excited about it because I just know, myself included, there's a lot of people who know who you are. They don't know what you look like, though, and they never got to hear your voice.
I didn't realize it was like a big
other
mystery.
than the parent in the background handing out the rules. Oh, here we are, two real people. Thanks for living in Southbridge, and again, thanks for coming, and appreciate everything you do. And folks, thanks for watching Southbridge Community Television, my two special guests, who are the proprietors of the Focused on Southbridge Facebook page. And if you're one of the handful of people in town who've never been there, do go there if you're interested in Southbridge happenings and candid and real-time discussion of things that are happening here. Not all of it will interest you, but a lot of it will, and you get the undiluted truth from my new friends at Alarie's and their wonderful Focused on Southbridge Facebook page. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll have more guests soon, and we will check in later with you right here on Southbridge Community Television. Thank you very much,
You're
the
welcome.
both of you,
Thank
for
you.
coming on.
Thanks, Max. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, terrific. Thanks a lot. All right, that's a wrap. We came in at 23 minutes.
23.
See, I'm glad I didn't call it 4 minutes or less, because then I would have been lying again.